evening. The magic box tells me it's 6 o'clock, so we'll get started. I'd like to introduce Pat Hines, who's going to head the Medicom team here tonight. Welcome you to our community. Thanks for having this session, and we look forward to a good give and take this evening. And welcome. You can introduce your team.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us this evening. Tonight we brought pretty much our entire management team. I'm going to start out here. We also have a technician here, John O'Connor. John lives in your community here. Some of you may know John. We have Tim Baker, Tech Ops Supervisor. Dave Rickards. Oh, well, Tim, how many years?
32.
32 years. Dave, how many years?
36.
36 years. Dave is our maintenance supervisor. We have Mike Evick. He's our technical supervisor as well. 18 years. We have a new face in the crowd here. David. How many years?
Going on one.
David is our technical operations manager, David Taylor. We have Carrie Boggs. Carrie has been here before. Last year was your first year? Okay, Carrie is our government relations manager from Gulf Breeze. Okay, that is our regional office. We have Brad Cotters. Brad is our manager of senior marketing manager. He's also from Gulf Breeze, so we have people from Florida here with us. And Katie Brinsfield. I don't know if everybody knows Katie. If you've been here, you do. Katie's been here. How many years, Katie?
11.
11 years. Katie is the administrative assistant in Dagsboro. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to, there were some questions sent in previously. We're going to go ahead and address those questions. And then after that, we're going to open it up for your questions. So, Carrie, I'll hand it over to you.
Oh, we're going to do the pledge. Y'all want to do the pledge? Yeah.
Oh.
Is that standard? Okay, so I guess let's say to do the pledge. Besides that. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna just read out a couple of questions that were sent to us, and then we've got a little feedback going on here. I think our sound. And there's a handful of folks at this table that'll answer, but just so questions can be answered, might answer some of your questions. So the first one we got was, what is being done to improve the speed and quality of internet service in Ocean Pines? So I'm gonna address that question first. Is that we as a company for Medicom have obligated, starting this year, this is our 20th anniversary, to invest over $1 billion in our infrastructure to upgrade our customers, almost all of our systems, to 1 gigabyte within the next 3 years. So as far as your increased speeds and better speeds, we have committed to doing that to our customers. Where Ocean Pine specifically is going to fall within that 3-year time frame, we don't know. It's a very recent announcement last, I was going to say, about 2 months. So we do not have a schedule of when we're hoping to have Ocean Pines or Dagsboro or where I'm from in Florida. We're hoping to have some kind of tentative calendar by the end of the year. We will have a 1 gig system launched by the end of the year, probably be in our Iowa system. It's one of our largest systems. But we're hoping to have a calendar of those kind of things. Let's see. We have a question here about, we would like to know why Medicom doesn't include MLB network channel. There are 1 or 2 cable companies in the U.S. that don't offer MLB. They want to know why, because we get the Yankee Entertainment Sports Network. But it does include baseball games, so you have to pay extra for that. So I'm going to give this to our marketing manager here, Brad, and he's going to talk a little bit about how we do our channel offerings.
We're constantly looking for additional content to add to our cable service. Going through that, we have to go through a negotiation process with channels, and we're always looking to make sure that we don't have to increase our rates in order to add additional content. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to come to a mutual agreement with MLB yet, but it is an ongoing continual negotiation with them. We just want to ensure that you're getting the best value for the money that you're spending, and we definitely don't want to have to increase rates just to add an additional channel.
Okay, and we did have a comment from a customer about their specific service, saying that they were having problems and they just wanted to let us know. If there are folks in the audience, certainly after this meeting, and you're having an individual problem, after you've voiced, a concern or complaint or a comment, please see either Katie or myself take your information and address your individual complaint in a private manner. I don't know if y'all want to put some of your information you may not want to put in a public forum. And the last question we had was, how am I able to receive a credible answer for renewal costs? When I call Medicom, I receive different answers to renew my contract. When my old contract expired, I called Medicom and basically got different answers. So again, I'm going to let our marketing manager explain how our promotions work, because they are dynamic.
We have a few different departments that do take inbound calls. Each different department does have different promotional rates, and they change on a monthly basis. So depending on which department you end up in, you most likely could get a different answer as far as what rate that particular department is offering. Our promotions usually change every 1 to 3 months, and we basically try to do the best we can in order to offer you the best value for that particular segment. So I'm not really sure what else I could answer regarding the rates and the promotions, unless you have, I'm not sure if the person who answered that is here. We would actually have to take a look at your account and go into a little bit more detail to find out exactly what had happened.
Okay, and I was going to say, now that's our last question, so if we'll open up the floor for...
The answers you get. So, in other words, I should keep calling and ask which department I've got, so I get the lowest possible bid that you're going to give me, and then go back and say, that's the department's bid that I want. I mean, is that the way you do business?
Well, and I understand your frustration, ma'am, and I wouldn't say that that's exactly the way that the business is run. Usually when you call in and how do I want to answer this?
So what you're saying, when you call the 188 number, you get one of various departments.
When you first call in the 800 number, you're funneled in through our customer service department. So customer service has a specific rate. We have a virtual call center, so we have call centers that are in Gulf Breeze, Columbus, Georgia, Des Moines, Iowa.
Yes, we have a small call center here.
We do have a
Delaware.
small call center here.
How would you do it?
You would have to ask them. It's a first come, first serve. So the first call that comes in, you get the next available rep.
So if they're overloaded in Delaware, it could go to one of these other calls.
Correct.
Yes.
Who gives the best rate?
All the customer service reps that call in, those all have the best offers available to them. You typically, if you go into the front counters, they might have a little bit better of an offer since they're dealing with customers on a face-to-face basis.
So depending on the day, I might get a great deal on it. That doesn't make sense.
The best offers when you call in, depending on what you're wanting, it's all based off of packages and the services that you're wanting. So the rates are going to vary depending on what's available in that particular package and what your specific needs are.
I'm going to clarify just a little bit. I'm sorry. If you give me 1 second, I'm going to clarify just a little bit. So if you call in and we have, a package for our basic digital and phone and internet, but maybe you want to add on a different channel, but maybe we have a better package, it's a better value if you add on 2 specific channels. So that they're going to You may be getting different prices based on that CSR trying to get you the best bang for your buck. They're going to try and package you not only so you're getting the best value for your money, but we are a business. We are trying to sell you our services. So it's not that you're going to call one CSR and they're going to have one offer and the next CSR is going to have a different offer. It's they may have more creative ways to package you. They may our social media team may have a special offer because they are dealing with you via Facebook or via Twitter. Our direct sales guy that comes and knocks on your door, because he's face to face, his offer is going to be probably a good deal, but at that moment, it's not one that's going to hang out there for you to consider for the next month. The person on the phone is going to have the same standard offers, but they may be able to creatively package you so that you're getting the best bang for your buck.
They upsell you, but don't tell you about the additional packages.
I'm sorry?
They'll upsell you, but don't tell you about the
No.
additional packages?
No. They'll try and package you to give you the best value for your money. So if that means you might get some additional channels included, or there might be other services you don't. I don't know if we need. I don't know. Can you guys hear me without this?
Because you're right underneath the speaker in the ceiling.
Oh, okay. So it's maybe let me move that. So it's more about trying to package you so you get the best value. Whether that means you might, because we have different a la carte packages that have a little digital plus here, or maybe the sports and entertainment here. There may be channels in there that you want to keep, or you are willing to pay a little extra for, and they can package you creatively to get you a better deal with the more channels or services. Yes.
Following up that, is there any place we can look what packages are offered on a day-to-day basis?
So as far as
we're really educated before we call you.
And I'm going to ask for, I don't know if our retail rates are posted online. I'm not sure.
We do have on our MediacomCable.com. There is rates available for new customers signing up. If you're an existing customer, we don't have that ability on the internet at this point, but I do believe that is coming for you to add on additional services. If you have existing services and are wanting to rebundle or change things, best option for you really is to contact customer service so that they can go through with you, figure out exactly what you're wanting, and they'll be able to offer you the best price available for the services that you're requesting.
Because what you're talking about would be a full retail rate.
Right.
I'm going to just guess no one in here wants to pay that full retail rate. You want a special. Everybody wants a special. That's what you're looking for.
Everybody in here is, promotions.
I'm sorry?
I'm guessing that everybody in here is paying the full rate after the promotions.
After your promotions run out. And I mean, we do have a lag where, there's an expectation we give you a special that, a full retail rate is paid for a certain amount of time before we repackage you into a special.
It's funny that you're having a meeting today because my Medicom bill is $209. That's a hell of a price to pay. That's more than I pay for my gas and electric.
What kind of services do you
I
have?
have everything you got.
Nothing good.
I have everything you got. I've got the highest speed internet. My speed on that is never even approaches 100 meg. We've got telephone service. We've got cable and streaming channel. We've got it. But it's just the service, and I want to preface this by saying, I see John sitting here. He's been to my house a number of times. He's been so kind as to even give me his personal cell phone. He's been very, very good. Everybody that's ever come to our house is very, very good. But the problem is getting them to the house. In my area, there's pieces of, you can just wander around the area and you see temporary orange cables lying all over the place in the ditches. I've been told every time somebody comes to my house that there's nothing wrong in my house. Nothing. It's some piece of equipment or some stretch of cable down the road. But it took 10 days to get a service tech to my house to tell me that. I know it before I even called. I'm tired of even arguing. I just take the date. But, you're asking somebody to be without telephone and cable and internet for 8-10 days? That is absolutely terrible. I lived in Baltimore County for 35 years. We were in a Comcast system. If you called before 12 and your cable was out, they were there that day. If you called after 12, they were there the next day. Now, I'm not saying Comcast with Perkins are great, but they responded. I call you guys, and all I get is, well, it's the best we can do.
So part of what we're addressing here is you're right. 8 to 10 days to wait for your cable to be fixed is absolutely unacceptable. We have our management team here to address those specific issues that you have.
How many subscribers do you have?
So we don't. That's a confidential number that we do not. We do not give out our subscriber numbers. That's an industry standard across the AT&T and Comcast.
How many technicians do you have?
Now we have 63 employees that service our Daxboro system, which is out of Daxboro, Delaware.
Yeah.
I'll let Pat go.
Yeah, to address your concerns about waiting, recently we've added 7 new in-house technicians we've hired for the season. We've also increased our contract labor crew. And our goal this year and every year going forward is to have these service calls 1 to 2 days out. That's our goal right now.
You know, considering what we've had so far, that was terrific. When I see it. And as far as your contract, they arrived at my brother-in-law's house 2 weeks ago. It took 7 hours and couldn't get their cable installed. Now I found out that the truck was not even connected at the ground line. I mean, that's just what you're hiring?
No. I mean, to answer your question, no, we don't want people like that. We've got 3 crews in here competing for the business. We're looking for the best crew.
You haven't found them yet.
No.
It's not my experience.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'd like to start here, if I may. I don't know how many people sitting here understand the extremely important decision that was given in a federal court last week, perhaps early this week, concerning cable companies. It's now being appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court, but a high federal appeals court ruled that your industry is not an information industry, which your lawyers pleaded. It is a utility. And that was voted that it is a utility. It's going to be appealed to the Supreme Court. But it's a major thing, because we all know in this room the amount of competition you have here is almost non-existent. We live in Florida. 8 months, we come here to a summer home. If you go to the west coast of Florida, and I'll give you other examples, there is a company named Bright House. They're in the Tampa, St. Petersburg area. They are less than half your cost. Less than half. You can check it. They're willing, they're cooperative, they're timely, they're polite, and they're able. They're less than half of you. So I sit here and listen to this gentleman say, well, we might have to raise prices. We pay on the east coast of Florida, okay, probably a little more than half. And we get more channels, and we certainly get better service. A little more than half. And when I come up here and look at these bills, I say, how do these people do this? And you have no competition. Maybe now the government is going to be forcing for the Federal Communications Commission to view you as a utility. It's going to either demand that you give better service or you have some competition, because in my humble opinion, you are robbing these people blind. The service, I want to finish, is ridiculous. Barbara, my wife, had grandchildren here 2 years ago. She has a considerable illness, and kids are good kids. She hadn't seen them in a while. It was in the summer, and the TV went out. It was a rainy week, and these kids were driving us nuts. I ended up in a hospital. And in that time, I went to your office 17 days to get a service man. 17 days. Last year, it was so desperate, it goes out all the time. We don't turn off the TV from the time we get here. It's on right now, till we leave. Because if we turn it off, there's a good chance it ain't going to come back on. I've had technician after technician. They're ill-trained. They're ill-motivated. The most recent one that came said, well, it's 4 o'clock. I'm going home. I did 5 jobs. That's enough. You talk about indifference and lack of business spirit. This guy could be a poster boy. This company is, all we know, rated the lowest by Consumer Reports in the nation, in the United States. And you guys ought to have the pride and the integrity to meet among yourselves and say, hey, you know what? This is my profession. This is what I'm going to leave in the world saying I did. And among you, somebody ought to be getting together and say, look at the real world. Look what, I'm just a guy who lives in Florida, but look what other people are experiencing. One guy told me, so help me God, this is true. I said to him before the article came out, you're the worst company of any kind in America. He said, what do you mean? I said, as utilities, you're overpriced, you're underserviced, lethargic attitude, most of your customer service are in the Philippines, half of them can't speak English, all they tell you is thank you for calling, and you haven't expressed the problem. They're ill-trained, ill-motivated, and that's my objective view, and that's what brought me here tonight. I didn't come to argue. I swear I'm just respectfully stating facts. I'm a reasonably intelligent man, I'm well-educated. This is what I see. And if these people want to accept it, that's fine. A lot of them go out the back door, as you know. They go, I talk to someone, you know about Medicom? Oh, who wants Medicom? I go and I get the dish, or I get something else and I go get it. You've lost a large number of customers just talking to them. But the point is, some can't do it. We can't go back and forth to change companies. I'm sure there are other, reverse snowbirds who come here. You're gouged, you're taken over, you're ill-serviced, it's a joke. The thing is on right now, we can't turn it off as I came here to talk about this. That's all I can tell you.
Can I address them real quick?
Sure. Anyone?
Well, no, there was a gentleman behind you, raise your hand. And I understand your frustration because we're a small company that has grown and grown and grown, and we've grown faster than been able to keep up with sometimes. So I get it. I do 9 states in our region, and I hear both good and bad, but the frustration level that I hear from you is not uncommon, and it's something that we do take to heart, and we take back to our home offices, we take to our area office directors, and we look at what's happening. We talk to the individual that's made that specific complaint, so if you would be so kind at the end, is to talk to us and give us your information.
Well, part of the problem is you're not a growing company. This is a confined area. You're surrounded by companies. You're not growing it. You're losing substance. And that's why the resources and the upgrades are not being devoted to this system.
So that's not correct. We are devoting a lot of resources.
We came over here a couple years ago and you said that made a big deal saying we got an entire tank devoted to ocean plants.
So
that is a joke.
Just this year alone, we have replaced several miles of cable within Ocean Pines, more to come. I believe you were referencing the cable on the ground. So it's something, I wanted to ask you, talk to Mr. Dave Rickards here and let him know where those are because he will go out and get those. Our turnaround time is about 17 days on those replacements for those hard lines. So it's a situation we're aware of. It's a situation we're working to improve. When you talk about the net neutrality of the open internet order, you are talking about the broadband portion of our service. It was upheld this past week by the appellate. So there is still there's a fight and there's some legislation that's out there as well. So there's all sorts of stuff going on with that. So I'd be more than happy to talk about that. If you don't mind, this gentleman in the hat had his hand up first. Sorry.
I have 2 questions. First, I have this application, but I'm here for time now. I have 0 pages. I don't have a TV or anything. Last time I had this example, I was working for a movie company, and to move this guy, and I said, "Use for your computer, Medicom. Pay him $23 a month." What? Maybe $79. He said, "Hit the box factory, and you go through Delaware up there, drop it off, done, cancel. They'll make a deal with you." And so, first one I said, "Can't make a deal, call North Carolina." Called North Carolina, okay, they said, "We'll let you have $23. I'll take it. But I want it for a whole year. I don't want you canceling it after 1 month. Fine. I had to stop by the headquarters, Delaware, pay them. Don't say anything. Let's see if they got that $23. We never said, Mr. Field, I'm here to pay you my year's fee. How much you owe? $221. They had loaded $120. paying, the last time I had Medicom, I was paying $21 a month.
And this was for your internet? Or your, what was it? Was it a video
Just
service?
TV,
Was it a phone?
just
the
TV.
TV. Okay. I mean, we run specials. That's the nature of our business, the nature of any business. You run specials.
Well, I decided I want to do TV, man. Don't, been under 2 years, I turned up TV, I'm getting TV. What's just price will give me, don't want to watch a movie. I got 500 movies in my house, I don't need another movie. But if I want to watch Fox News, business, okay, well, that's the only thing I want to watch. What's the cost?
You would have to subscribe to our family service. So that was part of what I was going to address with this gentleman. Our family service, Brad, what's our family service? Full retail.
Off the top of my head, I believe it's right around $82. It varies about $82 for Prime Cable. I think that was the cable bill. So the family cable.
And it's about it's 100 channels plus music.
Yeah.
So part of what I was going to address was that he talked about Bright House and how their prices are cheap. Bright House is much bigger. Bright House can negotiate lower rates on the channels that they carry versus what those same channels require Medicom to pay. That's where your price difference. I'm just talking in general. So, what we may pay for Fox News, Bright House is going to be paying a different rate because they have more subscribers, so they get a lower, call it a bulk rate. That's part of the price disparity because we are as small as we are. Across the country, we have about 1.5 million subscribers. Bright House has something like 5. They just merged with Charter, and you were talking about that earlier. They just merged with Charter and Time Warner as well, which makes them bigger. So we don't have that kind of leverage to negotiate for rates on your programming. As far as your video packaging goes, that is not before anything gets done. 40 to 50% of that package is paid to programmers for the privilege to carry TNT and USA and Fox News, your local NBC, ABC, CBS. So just to understand where that money goes to, a lot of it is programming costs. I'm sorry, the gentleman behind you.
He said the cheapest price, it would go less than $80. Is that correct?
That's the regular.
That's the full retail rate.
Can I get anything, $83 is the cheapest thing I could ever get if I'm in a one station month?
No, sir. The rates
I can't
for regular family the rates for regular family cable without cable box. I would have to look.
I get a letter from Medicom every week trying to get me on the special. I got another one today.
So that was a full retail rate that I gave you. No special, no nothing. Our full retail rate, if you just said, I just want family cable, I don't want to talk about specials, I just want to pay it and move on, would be $82 and some change.
And that includes a cable box. The regular family cable without any digital cable at all, off the top of my head, I want to say it's about $67. Full retail rate.
If I just single and I want to buy a road.
So we don't offer
I had a
packages.
signal to pick up anything.
Oh,
What is the signal? I think the last time I called about a year, it said it's 51.
are you talking about internet only?
Yeah.
So internet only. If you wanted, so
Not
that's
the internet. The signal.
well, it's different. If you want the video, you're not going to be able to run your Roku off of that signal. If you want our internet, that's what you would run your Roku.
Oh, it said it's $51.
That's about right. That sounds about right for our internet package.
That'd be $49.95 plus taxes.
You offer Medicom business, is there?
Yes.
So how can I get cable, internet, TV, $89.95, but it's residential cost $200.
Because they sign long-term contracts.
How long?
100.
It depends. It really, truly just depends on the business.
And do you,
And what are the criteria to do?
I would have to refer that to our commercial folks because this whole team, for the most part, deals with residential. I know our service techs and stuff will fix commercial issues as far as the
Do
selling.
they have a different turnaround time? So like it's
For repairs?
is there,
typically there is,
I know Comcast,
yeah.
if you bought commercial service with Comcast, their guarantee was 4 hours. Yep.
commercial side.
So why wouldn't somebody like me sign up for mine?
The rate that there is advertised for the commercial services, again, is a promotion rate, just like residential customers get a promotional rate. As with residential customers, eventually that promotion will end and their rates will increase as well.
On that single, if I paid $51, get a single. Am I going there? If I decide to go back to Annapolis after next week, can I cancel?
If you're going in with no contract and no special, 51 sounds like our full retail. Yeah, you can't.
If I stop by the office, go back to Annapolis, I go, stop by your office up there, I don't know where it's at, and $51, I can get that second, that's correct.
I want to, without knowing your specific needs for your house, yes. I mean, I don't have all the details to tell you that's exactly what you need, but
And if
yes.
I cancel after 1 or 2 months, I'm not going to.
Now this gentleman,
I'm not a credit card in for 2 years.
We also have no contracted offers as
yes,
well.
What, pardon?
We also have offers that do not have contracts. So for your situation, that would be
probably be preferable.
Yeah.
So the gentleman here in the jacket and the yellow shirt has been very, very patient.
No, you do not.
I do not put contract.
Right.
There. In the back row here, have about 100 years. Sorry. Aggregately, telecoms industry. Rising, till that's all corporation. So we know a thing or three about transmission, coders, digital coders. Somebody said you guys are upgrading your net. Look, there's a crew of mine cleaning up my front yard just yesterday. I said, what you guys do? So, net decided to turn off the alarm. I said, what do you install? He said, coaxial cable around since the 60s.
So
That's an upgrade.
our plant is a coax fiber hybrid plant.
You missed my point.
Okay.
Coaxial's been around since the 60s. Now, fiber, the actual cable, is a lot cheaper than coax. It's glass. Each in Ocean City is full of it. Electronics make it. But the life cycle is a lot longer. So, please don't upgrade your network. You're installing a 50-year-old. And all things are the technicians. Yes, that's all. Cable that serves my house is laying about 3 inches on. So, I guess what you're suffering from here is in our case, we were raised up the dial tone was a God-given right. Customer service was sacrosanct. They used to put 8 timers. The supervisors, we put a customer on hold that 8 timer right on. You got to I mean, seriously. So I think what you're suffering from is, I'm not sure anybody up there understands customer service. The spirit of service. It's something touched on. You know, this is what you do. We're a service provider. I just don't see it. I don't see the culture. I don't see the will. And some of the guys you send out to my house, I don't let them in the house. They're frightening people. Well, here's that. Well, in Bell, we had no competition in the old days, but we had this thing called the PSC and the FCC. Worst nightmare of your life. Customer sent a letter, PSC, with their name on it. Because there was pretty much the. It's all about discipline. And I don't think it care. Frankly, I'm not talking about there's be a couple. It's just not manifest. We don't see data. So I don't think there's an answer.
Well,
anything
I would say that, and you're right, that we have, people don't come to these meetings to tell us what a great job we're doing. You're here to voice your problems, concerns, your questions. And the only thing I can tell you is we all show up here because we want to hear them. You're here to help us. You're here to help us learn what we're doing wrong, what we can improve.
Don't we do this every year?
We did it. Well, let me tell you. Last year we had a very, very great meeting. Last year, it was my first meeting of the year, or it's my first meeting ever with the community of Ocean Pines, and it was a great. We had a couple complaints that we addressed. It was actually very small. There's less folks than we're in here now. And it was different than past years. So we come here to learn from from you all, what we're doing wrong, so that we can improve what we're doing.
You shouldn't have to have somebody like me come and tell you that there's orange temps laying all over the place. All you gotta do is ride through the system. They're everywhere. They're in
You have
ditches.
supervisors that come out or call back and check up and.
Well, I mean, and we've brought our supervisors here. That's why I was asking if after we're done, if you can talk to the supervisors about where they
All you
are.
have to do is right around the south side.
Everywhere.
Matter of fact, they cut one lay there the other day, and I never
It took us 10 minutes to get our service back, and within 24 hours, an Ocean Mines crew cut it because it was just laying in the middle of their drainage ditch.
Yes.
You said the reason your price quote is maybe not top competitive is you don't have many users. Well, the article in the Consumer Reports weighs many factors, not just numbers of users and price. It measures many things. You were stark bottom, room to spare. I have to add a couple things. This is absolutely true. I had a guy 2 years ago repeated. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a compliment. Deserve it. Your man David over there, I went to him last week. The fourth time I went Ocean Pines, 4 times 1 week to your office in Dagsboro. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work 4 times. I went to him. I was exasperated. And I told a nice young woman named Lisa in your office, Abel, told her she was embarrassed. She said, let me go in the back and see if I get somebody to talk to you. And I said, you know what? I bet if all these people understand, they'll get a congressman to talk to them because these people are robbing the house. And I went to this man, David. He was sympathetic. He was interested. He was responsive. He got me a good guy the next morning. So I'm not here to throw mud. I'm here to be objective. And these people don't understand. You know, most of us are retired. We don't have increases built into our cost of living factors. We have to understand that. That's fine. But when you think you're getting something for value, I think people are satisfied, pleased, perhaps even praiseworthy, as I just justifiably tried to do. But when you take all these things and you get your field men, whom I met one day and said, you know how bad you are? You call customer service, half of them don't speak English. They're in Luzon. They don't know what the hell you're talking about. And I said, you're the worst company in America in your industry. He says, no, they found out there's a worse one than us in Ohio. I cringed at one of your guys who waved your flag like that. Proudly. He says it's a worse one in the United States. What kind of company are you running where field people go out and talk to customers this way? It's chilling. So you're going to have to do better, or I'm going to tell all these people, they're not going to go anywhere. Write your congressman. Sooner or later, that weapon will come into play. As this gentleman just said with the old Bell telephone. Man, government, it was a monopoly, but they looked after it. Now it's a monopoly, and nobody cares. It's enough. That's my only comment. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a different subject. We are part-time owners. And after several years, we found out we could apply, call, and get a discount once we're not here. We didn't know anything about it for years and years. So then we called, and we did get it. Along was for a lot of them, beginning, and it was a reasonable discount. And last time I called, it was, I think, $15 or $20 difference, and it was for less months. So I didn't know if this was something that you're discontinuing, or...
So this is the only system within our company that we allow seasonal discounts. We do probably change them. I was to say Brad might be able to address that a little bit more, but it's not something that we offer company-wide. It is exclusive to this area.
It is.
That we offer the seasonality.
And we were able to negotiate with the programmers for rates that will allow us to offer that to the Delaware system. Seasonal rates are available to everybody in the area. You send out mailers every year.
I always have to call, and sometimes they don't know what I'm talking
Is
about.
your mailing address different than your? We would
My
send it to your
mailing
mailing
address
address.
is different.
Yeah, we send it to the
doesn't go
mailing
that
address.
house or this house.
Okay. So we would mail it to mail.
Our billing doesn't have.
Yeah, and I know last year we did make a change to our seasonal package. The video rate changed slightly. We were required by our programmers to make a change to the rate accordingly. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to offer the reduced rate for the seasonal package. I don't have the specifics off of the top of my head on that at this point. And I apologize for that.
If you want to leave us your contact information, we can
Absolutely.
look that up and get you more thorough
I got a
information.
letter, my letter, Medicom came from Iowa.
Yes,
Got out of the car now, they said,
we have a field operations in Iowa.
I have a couple questions.
Yes.
First off, in regard to what you said, that doesn't sound like the it's playing Waxel cable. I mean, what was there before?
We have
So what are you upgrading?
it's really our electronics and the equipment that we use in our head ends in out in our plant that allow larger pipes to come through. But we operate. I mean, almost all of our industry operates on a fiber coaxial hybrid system.
And in order for
And I
us,
know. I'm sorry. One moment. I know that fiber is a very hot and heavy subject. It's very. It's a very flashy subject right now, and there are folks that are coming in and doing fiber, and we are doing it as well. It's just we have to work with what we have now. We can't come in and replace everything fiber all at once. I mean, we just simply have to do that
When you're upgrading, why aren't you upgrading fiber?
because that's not how the plant is built.
Well, and I have several.
we have a technology,
Yes.
it's called
We're gonna let-
DOCSIS
we're gonna let-
3.1.
So I just wanted to make mention that I love telling the story to the new hires and everything else. In regard to that, as the gentleman was speaking about Verizon. For Verizon, Bell Atlantic, back in the day, as they launched their system, they had plain old POTS line, copper, twisted wire going to the home. But did you know you can't run video off that twisted wire? So what Verizon had to do in order to launch the Fios product, they had to launch fiber to the home in order to do that. How robust coaxial cable has been throughout the years, because not only did it go from regular video back at a time where it was only a few channels, it upgraded and we were able to offer high-speed data on that same cable. We're also able to offer HD TV off that same cable. We're also able to offer digital voice off that same cable. So twisted pair compared to coax has so much room to still even grow as we're going to take the network and go to a 3.1 speed, giving us gigabyte speeds over that same coax. But please remember that our coax cable is still fed by fiber to each and every neighborhood. So we have fiber to the neighborhood, then from that point to the actual house, it turns to coax. But that coax has been good over the last 50 years, as you mentioned, but it has so much room to still grow. That's why we're still using that technology. And even in the Fios type of environment, when you get inside the home, they changed it to coax. So fiber comes to the house, but to go through the house, it becomes coax at the same time.
I think I can answer this pretty soon. Just quick. Deteriorate, so you got to replace it.
But as far as what we are upgrading, we're referring to electronics and the stuff that allows them to pass through and allows more capability for the channels.
More cable replacement
How
for people
long
with
is
that.
the contract?
We have a franchise agreement. It is a non-exclusive agreement
I'll answer that.
that I believe it expires in
I'll answer that. The contract with Media runs till 2018, but contract language states that as of 2018, if in fact we wanted to eliminate and terminate the contract, we would have to, as an organization, go into the cable business and buy all of their assets and all of their equipment. We basically would have to become a cable company in order to remove and eliminate that contract. Well, let me tell you I know what your next question is, who wrote that contract? And I'm going to, and I've heard everything you folks have said tonight so far, but I want you to understand something. There was a time in the history of Ocean Pines when they couldn't get a cable company to come here. There was no cable here at all. And in order to get a cable company to come here, someone in that cable company, it was not Medicom. Medicom bought out the company. But the one who was here prior to Medicom, they had someone write a contract that was very one-sided. There is no question about that. It is very protective of the investment that that company was going to make coming into this community, which gave them sole rights to use the right-of-ways of Ocean Pines to provide cable service. So at one point, Ocean Pines couldn't get anybody to come to town without giving them those kinds of rights. Those rights have continued as Medicom bought out that company. That language is still in the contract. That contract runs out in 2018, and at that point, we can renegotiate. We have the right as an organization, and I don't suggest we do this, is we become a cable company.
We couldn't have like Comcast.
Well, the rule in the contract is we have to buy all of their equipment if they're leaving. That we can't just.
I thought the rules were if we had to buy it or find someone.
Well, that is also true too. But you were asking about the contract.
Couldn't Comcast come in and buy it?
Comcast,
All kinds of options.
Comcast don't want, it costs too much to upgrade this place, and it will not grow. Our subscriber base in Ocean Pines is limited and is actually shrinking. No business wants to go in and buy something that can't grow.
The reality is the contract runs till 2018. That is the high level stipulations to it. That is not these people's fault. They live by the contract the same as we do. Just remember, there was a time when we couldn't even get somebody to come here to build a network.
But that
At this point,
contract
okay?
allows for complacency that we can talk about.
Well, I can't argue one way or another when it comes to that. And I would also argue whether or not this marketplace is growing or not.
Can't grow. There's only so many houses in here.
Well, there's also more full-time people now than there used to be. This community has evolved over time. It is no longer just a vacation place for people to come to on weekends. There's a lot of people living here full-time now who have migrated to a new lifestyle. So, but that is the answer to the contract. I knew you guys didn't know the details of that, so I thought I would
I have
answer.
one final question.
Sure. I'm sorry.
Me? Oh. Do I get my Mediacom card? Yes.
You're speaking for me, that's fine. But each of us who pays a bill has a contract with this company.
Correct.
We're paying a certain amount of money.
No question.
We're not limited, okay, in our expressions of objectivity and fair play because of your contract with Medicom.
Right.
We have a right to say this is what we
Oh, you do. I'm not saying you
what
don't.
we get. And there are state, federal authorities.
Mhm.
The job ostensibly is to see that you're given a fair deal.
No question.
So I need to emphasize that you're speaking to the community, that's fine. But that does not limit our right of a fair deal.
I don't think anything I said even implied you didn't have the right. There was nothing I said that implied that you didn't have the right.
Stuck with it, take it.
Well, it didn't even imply that at all. You have every right to take any statement you want, but the question was asked about the contract, so I answered it.
Yes, ma'am.
My last question is, and I've heard it, I've had all the problems too. Finally, help 6 months of calling problems. It wasn't until I wrote letters to your Iowa office that suddenly people wanted to fix my problem. That I had approved. No phone, no cable, no this, no that, no internet, daily. Finally, I'd had it after. May was just big lies, going back. Be there on Saturday. I'm not. I work 50 hours. Okay, so people telling me they'll be there, blah blah. Okay, then they come and fix it. 2 days later, right back. You told me that you had found the problem under the parking lot. There was a temporary line. I see no
No, well, can I jump in on that? I was corrected. I thought at first that's what they did, and then David, our manager, our HFC manager, he said that the guys actually reconfigured the plant outside, push more signal that way rather than lay a line on the ground.
But if
that
there's
line
a
is-
problem with that line,
It's not being used. We're going to replace that.
oh, you took me off of that?
Yeah, and we redirected it.
Well, and I appreciate it, and everything has sense, and I have another dog been to my house. My fault. People I didn't want to let in my house, and threatened me that they're going to leave my house. Today I tried to call because I have to pay my bill each month. I'm supposed to have credit for all this time, and I don't. So I wanted to get credit. I called, no return call. So today I tried to just call the regular line because I know my name when you call my crap. And I couldn't get through because they said there's an outage in my neighborhood. Sorry, you can't get to talk to anybody, you could go online. I always love that. You can go online. Well, there's an outage. No, I always go online.
Right.
Now I was at work call. But, so there was an outage today here in the Pines. I wasn't home.
Well, you were calling from your work phone?
Right, but I put in my phone number. And it told me there was an outage and that, they couldn't talk to me right now. I could go online and chat. But I wasn't. But my question is, this is not the first time that's happened. So I don't know if there was an outage or not. When I came home, it appears that there might have been a power outage here. Yeah, my computer was off. Which I don't share my computer off. So I don't know. I wasn't in here. But when that happened, we have to call and say, okay, we're out again today. I'd like credit. I don't pay $200 some dollars, but I pay, I think my bill is like $146 months. I think I've paid my bill 80 months. I never had some. So, do I have to call every time you all have an outage to get credit? Because frankly, I don't have money to pay things that I can't use my.
So our typical standard on an outage is a 24-hour period for credit. There are exceptions to that constantly, but is it?
And do we have to write letters to get?
You should not. You should not. You should not.
But I don't look. This is only. There's my rating is only for May. Well, I wish I started one in November. I really do, because it would.
And I know that Pat has your letter. We read it the other day.
Yeah.
When I got your,
I appreciate your phone call.
I just want to let you know, when I got the letter, I immediately called you. So it wasn't like I was sitting on the letter.
Oh, I know, but apparently they were because I wrote it.
Well,
like 2
I
weeks before
apologize
you
for that, but when I get a complaint in or an issue or a concern, I jump on it immediately.
I don't understand that, Pat. Why did I have to write a letter? Can I tell you how many times I asked this?
No, I understand. There's no reason for that.
I
I agree with you.
And, and then when I think I get a nice supervisor that's actually going to help me, they're lying. Not her. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous as a consumer, and retirement dollars aren't going up. My income's not going up. So if Medicom's here to stay, and I have no intention, don't want to, but I want my stuff.
Right.
And I don't want to spend. I told somebody I spent time talking to Paul than I did my grant. That's ridiculous. How many hours I spent on the phone and on the phone with you were trying to get to. So, what is the remedy for that? And yeah, now I have your phone. Sorry.
That's fine. There's no need to apologize for that.
I just can't do it.
I'll try to solve anything I can, and I know my team, as long as we know about this, will as well. And I know you're all upset about this, but we're trying hard. We really are.
John came to my house Sunday, spent 2.5 hours trying to fix problems. It wasn't in my house. Not my house. I'm like, check this. I bought a new splitter. Bought a new splitter because somebody on the phone told me. I went out and spent, nope. Spent 2.5 hours in my house. And when he left yesterday, everything has been 5 days now. But that was 2.5 hours of my one day off that I had to sit. And that 2.5 hours is representative of maybe 10 times I spent on the phone. Not to mention the time break left. And, so I understand that you guys don't want that, but this is what we're getting. So, I mean, if they, my John, he's one. Oh, there he is. And if he comes to my house, I don't want to have to. But if I had that, I would love for it to light, clean,
And he cares.
takes care of my house, takes care of my thing. So what do we have to do, since we're obviously in this situation, this gentleman, what do we have to do? So I'm tired of writing letters, tired of calling, I'm tired of sitting here. I didn't feel like 49 hours. But I felt like as a consumer I had.
And that's the sole purpose of these meetings, for you as a consumer to be able to voice to us face to face. We have to look it in the eye. It's not, some anonymous phone call that we, our call center. Are there folks in there, in the large call centers that just move on? Yes. It unfortunately is the nature of call centers. We have 9 of them in the U.S. We only use, I think some of you mentioned, some of our overseas are only used for after hours. We use them sparingly because we employ, internally. They are not contractors; they are internal employees that pay across 9 different areas. So.
That's one safety question.
Sure.
That orange cable we see front on. That you cable?
Yeah.
Orange. What's the voltage for that?
None.
No voltage?
Unless
have a signal. Okay.
yeah, a signal. We have an RF signal. Or a radio frequency. It's less than 1 volt. Less than 1 volt of power signal that passes. So it's not harmful to
up there and eats that cable.
He enjoys it. Doesn't kill the squirrel. He enjoys it.
And the squirrels will do more damage to the
These
cable.
squirrels, I believe they get along.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to bring up an aspect, 2 things that are continuous, not my source, some narrative happen. Streaming from my filing, streaming from whatever you call it, all the time. That's continuous. And we have another little work where you're going to be on the internet working on most happenings, but other well, and it just freezes up, and you just have to wait until it comes, whatever's going on inside, back to business, and unfreeze, or have to and get out of it and start again. Why are those things happening? Are you getting those kinds of complaints a lot?
Island's a big problem.
Island.
Wind blows, the rain falls.
It's on a case by case basis. Right?
Island.
Usually, to answer that question, it's usually on a case by case basis.
We have it all the time.
And it's not
We
case
call,
by
they
case.
tell us
Because my whole neighborhood has it. I talk to our neighbors, they all.
And then you tell us it'll be 8 days, and I'm like, but in 8 days. Who knows? But he's never ever.
Doesn't Kyle usually trying to do, isn't that the general source?
No, tiling could be a bad connector, could be a bad or a bad cable.
I see.
All the way back.
Yeah, it could be high signal, could be low
And that's
signal.
what's happening in our area. somebody down the road's got low signal, piece of now I got my signal.
Want to, after the meeting, get your address to see, what you say in neighborhoods to see if you're in a cul-de-sac or please.
Yes.
Is there any, respectfully, you guys vary the heat? Maybe some of you don't belong, not fitting it. You're taking the heat for others higher up. You can't control that. We all respect that thing. But is there any company recognition? Consumer, Ports is a very prestigious organization. They had you so far down. Was anybody answer that fronted and said, my goodness, look at this, we got to do better? Was there any, there are historical things where washing and dryer companies, they get rated lowly. The next time you hear they went all kinds of improvement mechanisms to get their standing up, their quality up. Is your superiors to your knowledge, if you can answer that, recognizing this terrible reputation, okay, and that it needs to be improved? Last thing you want to hear customers say, people get angry, they cuss. Even Abe Lincoln, great Abe Lincoln, cuss. But the worst word you can hear is goodbye. Hey, that's much worse than a curse word.
So
there's a lot of goodbyes here. So
to answer that, and I can only answer it, I've been with the company 21 years. I can tell you that people, yes, much higher up than the folks at this table, probably, it was probably not a quiet day when that came out. Because our owner, Rocco, truly believes in a customer experience. We have hired folks to, we've hired folks being responsible for the customer experience to make sure that it flows and it gets, it's not the fact that you have a problem, it's how we handle the problem. You have your internet out, you want to make one phone call, you want us to come out there the next day, maybe two max, and fix it and walk away, you don't want to think about it again. That's the experience we want our customers to have. So I can tell you the day that anything came out with consumer reports that ranked us dead last was not a quiet day in our office with our CEO. What happened, I don't know. I'm not, my head does not go that high, but I can guarantee you it was not a quiet day. Yes, ma'am.
Do you think some of the frustrations could be alleviated by having a phone number to call the Dagsboro office so that you feel like you're speaking to someone, is up the street, maybe could understand the problems or get here fast instead of having to call Florida and having them call?
So we are nationalized as far as how our texts are routed. We have a national dispatch center in New York. If everything flows up to them as far as where our texts go and their next job and their route for the day and our service calls and our maintenance issues and that kind of thing. I come from the day and age when we used to do that. And what has happened is by making it a virtual call center, your phone gets answered faster. You're not, if that Dagsboro call center might be overflowed, you don't want to sit on hold for 15 or 20 minutes. You want to talk to the next person because maybe you only have a billing question. Maybe you just, your box, the power went out and you need a hit to your box. You don't want to sit on hold for 15 or 20 minutes to wait for something. So we have gone from that model to our virtual model, and our customers are happier answer times and the response times for the virtual call center. I know it doesn't seem like that on a one-on-one basis, but it's something that we vetted for many, many years. We did it in small circles. We do our two large call centers first, and then we start bringing in our smaller centers to help alleviate some of the weight on them.
Okay, so your group in New York is doing the routing based on available technicians, but somebody local is sitting down and Aaron's booking.
That's all on for our national.
Oh no, somebody's got to be putting in how many jobs a day.
That it goes through our operations.
Yes.
Somebody's got to be telling them how many techs you have.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
So when that person is looking at their workforce and seeing how far they're booking out, at some point, doesn't a light bulb have to go off and say, hey, we need more help?
To address that, I spoke to the gentleman sitting on the end earlier. He had to leave. I spoke to him earlier about that. We've hired 7 new technicians this year. in-house technicians, and we've added upwards of 20 contract labor. And our quota right now, and you were saying, are you referring to last year?
I'm referring to last week.
Okay, what can you tell me what happened last week?
Well, actually, it was 2 weeks. And your box drivers, is your head in the Dagsboro? Okay, your DTA box drivers went down. And I only found out about it because my one box got inadvertently unplugged. I plugged it back in, it blew me a hard reboot, no time. It didn't. I borrowed the one out of my son's. As soon as I disconnected that, it wouldn't. I called your number and talked to somebody wherever who, quote unquote, sent the hit to my box. Box didn't take a hit. They have to see on that end that they're not getting a response from the box. It's not.
Dave, when we had that outage that last week,
the box drivers were down for 4 hours because 4 hours later they came back. Now that brings it to the point of if you had somebody locally answering that phone, they could have picked up the phone and said, "Joe, check the box drivers. I think they're down," and that would have been resolved in 2 minutes. I mean, you got texts in the head end, do you not? Just sit
We
there.
have 2 texts in our head end
Right.
currently. When that issue happened, we actually get our information from Albany, Georgia. There was a fiber cut in Nashville, Tennessee that affected that on a level 3 circuit. We didn't know that at that time. So nobody in Dagsboro would have known that. They would have known that it didn't take a hit, but they would have known where this fiber cut was. And then that's the reason. By the time they rerouted, got that fixed, that's the delay in your DTA number.
yes, sir.
Yeah, the only problem I have is calling your calling Florida or whatever is sometimes it's affected something. Is every time I've gone to Daxter, the ladies there, desk, whatever my concern was, and like that, courteously, quick. That's something I have. And 80%.
And then, I mean, unfortunately, just what we service a million 5 subs. Can't.
Use the mic.
Oh. Sorry. Is it on? Green light's on. Hello? Oh, there we go.
There you go.
So unfortunately, I mean, we would love to be able to give everyone their local customer service rep that they can deal with personally all day, every day. But the nature of our business just simply doesn't allow that kind of specificity. You call in, do you want your service fast, or do you want to wait in line for the specific customer service rep that you talked to, last week or last month?
I'd rather wait 15 minutes to get what you're talking about.
And that's our goal. That is our goal, and I understand. But as far as you're talking about the local folks, I mean,
I just think the system is because in all my years of management, the more local you can get, more often you get to talk to another person.
better off. I come from those days as well. It was very hard for me to adjust when they moved local dispatch, they moved local call centers, and I was like, how are we ever going to manage this? And we do. I mean, if you look at the number of customers we do not hear from versus the ones that we do, it's actually, those are the ones we're concerned of course, is that percentage of customers we hear from. We try to be proactive on those ones that we don't hear from so that we don't have to hear from them. But in order to service those customers that we do hear from, we have to do it in as efficient manner as we can, which I know is not the experience of this group. This is what we're talking about. So these things we will, some of you, if you would please give us your names and your contact information. If you want to bring your stories back to the appropriate person, have them reach out to you if necessary, reach out to one of us, local management, help, so that we can hopefully bring your experience, give you a better experience. We want you to walk away with experience. Are there any other questions? Yes, sir.
I don't have a question. I'm here to beg.
You're here
I
what?
need a telephone. I'm here to beg.
Okay.
I need a telephone. I start my morning after I have my coffee. Every morning I call Kate. I'm on the phone with her so much, my wife thinks I have something going.
She's a pretty young lady.
But anyway, it's everything is a joke and all that stuff, and I try to go along with it, but this is really serious. This is a serious thing. I have no way sometimes to get to the outside world. Wife and I are both in our 80s. We're all alone. My neighbors are all come-heres. Some are here on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, some whenever for the summer and stuff. So we're all alone. And it's complete darkness. If you want to find out what darkness is, go through Ocean Pines at the middle of the night. Complete darkness, and we're all alone. And I have no way to get to the outside world. I'm calling people, and for instance, I'll give you an example. My wife was sick. We had a problem with her prescription. I'm on the drugstore, Walgreens. Halfway through it, I didn't realize this. I never know this. In fact, I didn't know this until just about a month and a half ago, that I have the problem. I'm talking. The other people can't hear me. I'm breaking up all the time. So now I call for a change in her prescription. A little while later, the Walgreens calls me back because they had a problem getting my call. Now, this is a real serious thing. I have no way to get to the outside world. And I have to say this. These guys have been all over my place. They were under my house. And the other day, you send the big troops out. There were trucks all over the place. I thought, yes, I finally am going to get a telephone. You know, so I call her every morning, and she waits until, there it goes, Jack, I just heard. My kids call, they all. So I need a telephone. Yeah. And if somebody's going to say, get a cell phone, don't even want to hear that. Don't even want to hear that. You guys have an ad on your TV that shows all these happy senior citizens walking down the street with that cellular phone. If you have one, trash it. I'm going to tell you that because that's exactly what they will do to you. They will trash you. Well, I don't know. They called me on the phone. They said, Mr. Ferry, your check was mangled. Check. Now you're looking at a freak. I pay my bills. If I get a bill on Monday, it's paid on Tuesday.
Same way.
You got it, and it's paid early on Tuesday. That's the way I've always operated. And so they mangled my check. So I said, okay, not a problem. They send me a notice. I'm now overdue. I didn't pay my thing. I said, you send me, I send you a check. You told me, well, we can't use it. The next thing you know, I pick up my cell phone, try to use that. They cut me off. I mean, listen, no tears, please. No tears. They absolutely cut me off. And I went through the whole thing. Now I get on the phone. Now I'm waiting for a half hour. I am determined I am going to talk to somebody, right? Some lady gets on, her name was Viola. And I'm not saying anything bad about broken English, but my grandparents came over here. No problem with that. But it was hard to understand her, and she didn't understand me. And finally, the whole thing, when it was finished, she did absolutely nothing for me, other than tell me I have to pay my bill. I said, I paid you. You have my check. Okay. But now she don't believe that I sent her another check. I said, you think I'm dishonest by not telling you about this? I said, send me my check that's mangled. Guess what? They trashed it.
Right. And this was your cell phone provider?
And the checks that were in the mail were in the system, but it didn't go through their system yet. So what did they do? They trashed me. So if you have one of those cellulars, get rid of it. All those people are smiling. I don't know why the heck they were smiling on all that. But I need a telephone. And I can't say anything. These guys are crawling. This fellow over here, I don't know his name. He was crawling underneath my house and stuff like that. But I don't know what you can do. I really don't know, and I don't know what to do.
Well, I know that Pat is aware of your situation.
Yeah.
So
David has had his crew down there too. If we can talk to you.
Okay. But appreciate anything you do.
absolutely. So
Thank you, Katie.
do we have any other questions? Anyone? So for those of you that don't mind coming to give us your information and jot down a little bit about what you said and how we can address, we would sure appreciate that.
I thank everybody who came tonight because this is what these meetings are for. If last year went really smoothly, welcome to a rarity, okay? That's what these meetings are for, is to get to know the local people. I think the one question that started the evening that I'm going to add a question to, and it has to go to Ms. Jeff, and it's just my own personal issue. As a customer of Mediacom, and I think these folks may have the same feeling, is that when we sign up for one of the promotional packages, it sounds really great. And we know when we buy it, a month from now, a year from now, it's going to go to full rate. But then we turn around and realize that my next door neighbor just disconnected, reconnected, and then they were offered the re-up. And all of a sudden their bill goes back down to where mine used to be. So it just, I don't know if you have an answer for that, because I know the market, I know the industry fairly well. But there is a dynamic in that industry of competition that is self-created. Because a year into a package that you really want, and all of a sudden you find out your next door neighbor just signed up, disconnected and reconnected, and all of a sudden their price goes way back down. All because they're treated like they're a new customer. So you might want to look into that dynamic, because there are people doing that in Ocean Pines in order to get a re-up of the price they used to have. So if you can do that, you might be able to work something out. Just take a look at that. So again, if anyone has any particular issues, I recommend you come up and talk about it. These folks will try to be responsive to it. Thank you for coming out tonight and being open and honest with how you feel. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I got a question.
Yep.
Do you have any
Do you have any what?
magazines of Mediacom, any other Mediacom magazines, like this year?
Magazine.
She used to give one out.
We used to have a Pause magazine. We used to do a Pause magazine. I think probably the last time we did that was about 4 or 5 years ago. We stopped doing those because you can get most of that information on the internet, and it was costly for folks. Usually just throw it in the garbage. But if you have an internet connection, we certainly show you where to get those. Usually there were models that showed you how your bill worked and how to hook up a box and that kind of thing. So we have that on it.